Welcome to another day in the Matrix. Waters above crypto. This market's giving us a little pullback today, as expected, after having a nice bounce from the red candles we were seeing all last week. In today's video, I want to share a short-term prediction I have for XRP in the month of May. Just kind of following up from yesterday's video where we did the Gematria decode to decide on this red box territory of dates that we project the breakout to occur. So if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with the esoteric science of Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology to understand these markets. If you haven't already subscribed and you like what we're doing here, feel free to subscribe, give this video a like, and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. Also, for those of you who want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my mastermind course. There's a promo code in the pinned comment below with instructions to get lifetime access to the course with a discount. My email's in the description box to get in contact with me for access to the course. And with that being said, let's take the red pill. So everything's doing pretty good today in terms of how deep this pullback has gone. Nothing too crazy. We're seeing that Ethereum is doing all right, but our focus today is XRP. And let's just get into the reasoning behind this red box territory as a recap from yesterday's video. So we basically, earlier on in March, we made this chart with this red box territory, and we were able to predict all the way back in early March when XRP would break out. And we did that using Gematria. So essentially, when we were typing in XRP, we were getting this 14 and 15 showing up in everything, and that connection to the 14th and 15th week of the year. And it played out perfectly. We saw a dollar for the first time, and here I am today giving another short-term prediction that everyone has been asking for, and it's what's the next big price we see XRP hitting. And yesterday we did this red box territory of dates, which includes the 18th week all the way through the 20th week of the year. And we got to that because I've been seeing a lot of repeats with the 18 and its ties to Venus. So Venus being a very important figure in this whole thing. It's sort of my unique perspective on how to astrologically look at this market, but I believe that Saturn, Jupiter, and Venus are like the trinity of the astrological connections we can make. And in terms of these cryptocurrency markets and the financial markets in general. And the moon cycles are also really critical as well. But Saturn, Jupiter, and Venus have just been my go-tos in terms of how I look at this market, and it's been working time and time again. So if it's not broke, why fix it? But with that being said, we were able to look at this 18 and how we're moving into the 18th week of the year. And then we also have the 19, which comes in Taurus. And that 19 is really crucial. Of course, right now we're in the zodiac of Taurus. So you're seeing the 19th week between the days of May 10th and May 16th. Really interesting stuff. And then the box ends on the 23rd, which is the end of the 20th week. Show you right here. This box territory ends on the 23rd, and the reason I included the 22 and 23 as well is because XRP equals 22 and 23. Those numbers seem to be pretty critical. But what I don't like about this 20th week of the year, sorry, the 21st week of the year, is it has the 21 and it starts on the 24. And that brings me back to Saturn. So I've been seeing that Saturn sort of plays this role in this whole thing as negative. And I don't mean that in a way that's, against anyone's particular beliefs, but anytime Saturn and Jupiter come into play with this market in terms of the numbers that I'm seeing, this 42 and 24 connection and 21 and 12 connection, these numbers have been bringing very chaotic price action. And yeah, it's just been my my work and what I've been able to see happen time and time again. And I've been doing a lot of work on this number 42 and 24 in particular. So the fact that we're starting the 21st week of the year on this 24 date in May is giving me a little bit of of a feeling because we have this 42 in May, of course, and then we have this 21 reversing, coming back to Saturn with the 21-42 connection. And then also one other thing to think about is as we move through this 21st week, on May 29th is when Mercury goes into retrograde, May 29th through June 22nd, and I've been saying time and time again that I've been thinking that something will happen in June, probably a substantial pullback in the entire market. So this Mercury retrograde thing is pretty interesting because I was playing around with this and seeing that we get the 97, which is the 25th prime number. So Mercury retrograde equaling 97, giving you the 25th prime, which comes back to Venus with the 25 in Chaldean. And also in yesterday's video, if you watch that, you'll see all the other ties to 25 that we were making. 25 and 52 play a very large role in this using English words with Gematria, and how the entire cryptocurrency market seems to gravitate towards those two numbers quite a bit. And they're heavily embedded into finances. The same thing with Venus, heavily embedded into finances. So let's do some technical analysis and I'll get into my prediction. First of all, we have our red box territory, so we know that's when we're expecting a breakout. Now, I've mentioned that between now and then, I anticipate, highly likely I anticipate a pullback. Now, this pullback, it's not going to be long and dramatic. It could literally be like what we're seeing today, come down to this trend line right here, dance on it a little more in the beginning of the month, and then start going to the upside, right? That's kind of how it goes. And then you would anticipate to see resistance at this 786, 618 region, which I've been telling all of the people that I work with that, hey, this actually can move up all the way into this 786, then get rejected, then lose support on the 618 and actually come back down and make a W pattern that's bigger. And that's actually really normal in crypto. This scenario, sometimes where we make it all the way up to the 786 and then make a new lower low for a second, is called the dead cat bounce. And crypto in a bull market likes to be very dramatic. So unlike Forex and other things, the dead cat bounce coming up to the 0.5, which is basically where we got rejected yesterday, and then the new lower low. I also was telling people that the 76-cent wick is possible. Just a wick, it could last literally like under 2 minutes, is possible. Again, we saw it right back here on the 23rd. That makes a lot of sense. The 23rd, 24th, 25th was a big downside move for all of the cryptocurrencies. But you could see now that XRP has moved down dramatically from this 196 region all the way down, 55% correction. Yeah, it's sort of telling me that, like, you know, this exuberant buyback was expected, like I've been saying this whole time. It's called automatic reaction or automatic rally in Wyckoff accumulation. And this is just a structure that plays out in a healthy, it'll make a more healthy chart. Let's just say that. So Wyckoff, you have this sharp move to the upside when we predetermined our breakout target. This is called a buying climax, meaning there's no more buyers at this level. So it's easy for the whales to manipulate it to the downside very quickly. This moment right here is called a selling climax. You know it's a selling climax because look at that wick. There's a huge wick and then a quick immediate buyback. And this is called the automatic rally or the automatic reaction. We're seeing this play out perfectly. Again, I anticipate most of our support to be around that $1.10, $1.15 level, or you could just make it easier on yourself and say the 236 fib. Holding support on the 236 fib for daily closes is actually normal. And then I suspect potentially a new higher low, and then we keep it moving. So after we get through this whole moment, if that even happens, again, technical analysis is about probabilities, not 100% what's going to occur. Please remember that. So we move into this golden pocket, play around in it a little bit, and then I anticipate new highs within this box. Could literally come within the last day of this box. Doesn't really matter to me. All I'm anticipating is before the last week of May, we see a new high for XRP. So $2 is what I'm mostly expecting here. Now, The next natural target would be this 1618, right? Because that's always what happens whenever we're breaking out. The 1618, or the golden ratio in Fibonacci, is typically where we get stuffed out. Now, we have our previous fractal here, which I'll zoom out and show you guys what I mean by that. This right here was when the price of XRP hit 78 cents, leading into what some people were anticipating for the Spark token Flare Network airdrop thing. Again, when did it hit that price? On the 24th of November, again, coming back to our 2442 connection, and then a very dramatic sell-off after that. Then continual higher lows, and then the price tried to get back up, as you can see with this 786. We're literally, the price did exactly what I was just explaining earlier in the video. Price gets from down here in this average trading range of 22 cents, really quick buying climax. Then we see our selling climax, try to get back up, fail, and then we have what's called a spring using Wyckoff. Again, I go over all of this stuff in my course. So this rejection on the 786 with a new lower high is what you anticipate a correction to do. Now, with that being said, I'm not anticipating a correction for XRP at this point because of how well it's been holding support at this $1.12 level. One thing to take note of is the time this breakout lasted for, which was approximately 32 days. From the time of this breakout right here, we could track and see where we're at. We're only at 23 days. So this box actually ends around 40 days, and that would be one of the longest periods of time that XRP has remained in a broken out structure. It typically has been breaking out and pulling right back to this 20-cent level for years, for 3 years, okay? So this is finally it. What I believe is finally it. And what we're seeing after this quick buyback in this $1 territory, that's very healthy. So the prediction here is just simply what would be common sense, which is the previous fractals 4236, which is around $2.80, and our 1618, which is legitimately within just a couple percent move to the upside, 6%. And what I will say is that I believe it will be $2.07. Sorry. $2.70, and that is because Ripple in the most pure cipher, Chaldean, is 27. So the next move up for XRP not only makes sense from a perspective of technical analysis, the 4236 being our next key level, and then also the 1618 on this current move being the next level within 7 cents away, and also our Gematria telling us 27. It's giving me a lot of signs that $2.70 is most likely the next level. Now, it could actually flip even more bullish and go all the way up to $3.20. So this would make sense also because of the previous all-time high. The previous all-time high being at $3.30, right? For that 33. I think on this chart it even hit 3333. But anyways, of course, XRP is very ritual and it likes to make these moves. Now, since the last couple months have been nothing but 14s and 15s in terms of how XRP has been behaving, I would not be surprised to be seeing a new breakout to those highs on the 14th or 15th of May between now and then. So perhaps we'll see a new high, a new $2 XRP by May 14th or 15th. The 15th would be kind of awesome because it would be the 515 numerology date. So that would be pretty cool. Also, I could quickly type in just the way that I like to do it sometimes with this. Okay, and we're getting the 23. When we type in May 15, we get the 23, and that comes back to, of course, XRP 23. Also 515 2021. So that's interesting. I haven't really played with that too much. It's something I do sometimes just for fun. 5 plus 15 plus 20 plus 21, giving us the 61. Very interesting because that's mirroring the 16 on that date. So yeah, I mean, it's something to look forward to. Is probably that 14th or 15th date. I haven't. That was just like me quickly looking at some of the numbers. But overall, this whole box territory is when I anticipate the end of our lows and the setup for new highs. That's what's most important here. And then very heavily, I mean, if XRP doesn't hit $2 in the month of May, that would be very surprising. So I'm going to go ahead and say 80% chance XRP hits $2 in May, and maybe a 10% chance it hits $3. 10 or 20% chance it hits $3. But my main call is that $2.70 level, just because it's so confluent with the TA that I've been doing. And also we have the 27 in Ripple right here, 27. So let's just quickly look at Bitcoin now that we've got that out of the way, and we're going to understand a little bit deeper into why we're seeing a correction across the board, and it's because of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has the same structure going on where it's sold off very quickly. Of course, like not even a fraction of the losses of some of these altcoins, 27%. Meanwhile, XRP shaved off 55%. So the volatility in XRP is continuing to diminish over time. This isn't even the biggest pullback we've seen in this run so far. I believe this one right here was even deeper. Yep, so that one right there was around 32%. So this isn't even the deepest pullback we've gotten yet. The only thing that's concerning about this pullback is the fact that this was your higher low and this created a lower low. So it's a change of trend. But the fact that it got bought back up so quickly is a sign that there's a lot of buyers. Also, another thing I was looking at was fundamental analysis showing that right now we have a continuing downtrend of Bitcoin leaving exchanges. So that reduces selling pressure, and that means that we're still in a bull run. Like when you see everything flood on exchanges, that's when it's, the most sophisticated sellers are selling. It's very basic. You could look at volume for that as well. Volume, again, being supply. So we saw a signature increase right here of volume, but we're not seeing like massive volume candles like we saw here, there, and there, right? So, and also since that, what we were calling right here, the buying climax at the current all-time high, down to the selling climax at 47,000, we're seeing that since that moment, the supply is diminishing. So it's very strong. Tells you the bull run's not over yet. Now, could Bitcoin come back down and make a new lower low? 100%. And that actually might be something healthy for the altcoins. Now, when Bitcoin immediately sells off, of course, all the altcoins are going to come down. But at that moment, I'm going to be looking at BTC.D, Bitcoin dominance. And if Bitcoin dominance starts sliding below 49, I think that on the next move up, you're going to see massive gains across the board in altcoins. This time right here that we've been spending for Bitcoin in this 50,000, 60,000 level is a sign that the altcoins are gaining strength. It is a little weird to see altcoins gaining this much dominance in the middle of a bull run, so that's something to be considerate of. But with that being said, if Bitcoin decides to move down, it'll be the final nice accumulation for altcoins. That would be very healthy. If Bitcoin wants to start melting up from here, it might regain dominance, and in that move, it'll balance or equilibrate this entire market and make the market structure more balanced again, as opposed to Bitcoin losing its dominance. And for those people that want Bitcoin to lose its dominance, you're again, emotional. That's not a logical position to play here. This isn't about being a no coiner against Bitcoin. This is about having a market become more mature. Okay? So if Bitcoin loses its dominance and these shitties start pumping 100,000% or whatever, it's showing you how immature this market still is. So ultimately, at the end of the day, when the end of this bull run comes, Bitcoin's going to come back 40%, and these altcoin plays are going to lose 80 to 90%. So Bitcoin's more mature, hence the volatility is lower, and it's having a hard time breaking below that 50% dominance because the most sophisticated players in this game are in Bitcoin. They're not in XRP, trust me. Look at the XRP supply, and you could quickly figure that out for yourself. Most of the XRP supply is in a very concentrated amount of wallets, and it's most likely people who are the highest levels of the New World Order. So it's these bankers that they're working with. And that's why every time XRP sells off, it's very dramatic and fast. And it's because the retail hands in XRP are weak. No offense, but your XRP army are absolutely paper lettuce hands. And that's why these sell-offs occur. because when retail, that's why you get a chart that looks like this, by the way. When you see a chart that looks ridiculous, it's because retail is front running price action, period. When you see a chart that's actually stabilized and growing slowly over time, as you can see, Bitcoin continually on an uptrend as you zoom out. Yeah, you see a big difference between this chart, correct, and this chart. Right? So it's just the types of investors in Bitcoin are holding and putting in cold storage for long periods of time. The type of investors in XRP, once they heard about the SEC thing, they sold it all. Then they tried to buy back in when it was going to $1. Then it started going down, so they sold again, and now they're trying to back in. You know, it's chaos. And that's why you end up with charts that look like this, because retail doesn't know what they're doing. They're trying to get rich quick. They're not actually investors. They're gamblers. And you look at any shitcoin chart, and it basically looks like XRP. Now, XRP is one of my second biggest holdings. I'm just dropping the red pill on everyone, just telling you the truth. And if you look at this chart and you do TA, it's way more important than fundamental analysis, because if fundamental analysis was so important for XRP, it would be like $100 right now. So clearly fundamentals don't matter either. If it was fundamentally the project that people want to believe it is, you wouldn't have seen it dump this much over the SEC case, correct? You wouldn't have seen an 80% correction because people wouldn't have sold. It's fundamentally amazing, right? So either we have an issue here when it comes to our emotional connection of XRP. A lot of people have chosen the cult of XRP. And I'm just here to tell you guys that this is a good investment. It's not the answer to your financial future, though. You never know what this thing could do. So anyways, rant over. We're just seeing the typical pullback that we get after we have a very sharp sell-off, and a very sharp buyback. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your day in this matrix. Much love.